Alright, welcome everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tutorial 10. So it's similar to tutorial 9. We're gonna set up a website and a content management system on Windows this time. So for Windows, they have something similar as PHP. It's called ASP. So defaultly, if you go to Windows 2016, this is not there. You need to add. You go to this Add Rules and Features wizard. Skip the first three things. For rules, you need to go to this Web Server RS stuff. Go to Web Server and go to Application Development. You enable .NET and ASP and with the version of the .NET, and you try to and you next you install this feature in it. But let's talk about hosting a website. So in order to host a website on Windows, you use this thing called IIS, Internet Information Service, and there's a manager page for it. Defaultly this is already up, so if you go to localhost, you can see you are already visiting some web page, and this web page is no other on the ci.net pub www root. This is is.c. So you can see this website has already been set up here, and you can also set up your own website with your own path of the directory. So let's see if I have a website I want to host, let's call it rohit.gg, and inside I want to put some content so we can actually know what is this. So index.html. So if you are creating files like this way using I'm sorry, I'm just checking. Yeah, I'm still recording. So if you want to create text file using right click, text document, you always create a .txt file. This is not HTML file. So in order to reveal this, you need to go to Start menu, type extension. So you find this little thing in the control panel, then you look at this hide extensions for known file types. You make sure this is unchecked, and it will reveal itself as being not HTML file, as a TXT file. So F2 gives you rename. You can actually rename this as HTML file, and now you can put something in. If I can open with Notepad, that would be good. Thank you. So just like, hi, this is rohit.gg. Okay, and now this is the document root. If you still remember how we configure Apache, this is literally it. And we need to set up this website entry from sites. We can set add site here, or you can just go to this action panel on the website here. So site name, we just call it rohit.gg, as it's the website I'm calling, and the host name, absolutely rohit.gg. And the physical path, we just direct ourselves to this directory, this website root directory, and we create this binding to this website. So it should start automatically, but just in case, to avoid some permission issue, you go to your website, you click on it, you go to this directory browsing, and you make sure this is enabled. Otherwise, you're probably going to encounter some HTTP 403 errors. Yeah. And the other thing you need to do is you need to add the IIS user to this your website root directory. And in order to do this, you go to properties of this folder, you go to security tab, you edit, and you add user IIS, and it will automatically fill this up to you. IIS underscore IUSS. And I didn't do anything stupid, right? I didn't. Okay. So let's apply, let's call it a day. And now we have this website actually running up. And of course, rohit.gg, if you ask your computer, he was like, nope, what the heck is that? Because you need to configure your host file in order for your computer to know what the heck is that. So drivers etc host file. So this is like tutorial 9. I put my tutorial 9 networks.com here, and just this one is 1.2. This one is roheat.gg. And if you go to roheat.gg, yep, it is working. So for this tutorial, yeah, so let's see if the ESP part has ready or not. Let's hope so. Because in the exam you will be asked to do some like web content edit, right? It could be ESP if your web server is the Windows one. So ESP, let's go to roheat.gg.com. So ESP file is, sorry, I'm just gonna rename it to default ESP. And for my sanity issue, I'm just gonna copy from the tutorial sheet like this. This is like PHP, but with their own like response right? It's literally echo you saw in the PHP, and like a print or printf in C, print in Python, kind of thingy. And if you put it here, you should see roheatgg.com now becomes hello. Let's hope so, yes. And you can also call other functions, just like the example given here. Let's see if I can actually copy, that would be wonderful. This is gonna give me some, if you have some syntax errors on ESP, and if you save it, it's gonna give you 500 errors. Yes, because the interpreter of ESP cannot tell why else and if ends up in the same line, and why everything is all squeezed up, why this is so screwed. So I just get rid of it. I hope this is correct enough. It's still not correct enough. Okay, never mind. Randomize. Oh, I think randomize should be in a new line, right? Yes, randomize should be in the new line, but you can see all the functions are correctly like interpreted. You actually have the output of this command put up here with the response right. So literally they're echoed out. So this is the ESP part, and similar to let's check. Yes, so similar to CentOS, on Windows we can also use some content management system, and it is called DNN, or Do Not Nuke. And we have this instance right here. So you can also create another website for it, but I'm just not gonna bother. I'm just gonna copy the DNN content here and restrict everything on the roheat.gg.com. So just like WordPress needs to talk to database like MySQL. Then you need to do that as well. So you need to create a database and like a login credential on that database for that website to work. So you use this thing on Windows Server. You use this thing called SQL Server, which is Microsoft thing, and you use the Management Studio to config this SQL Server. And it's actually gonna take some time. That is, goddamn, please, yeah, thank you. So you just use the default login credentials. You connect to the SQL Server database, and here you will have a tree of this how this SQL Server database is. So on the database, you just create a new database, the one you want to use. Because I'm creating database for roheat.gg, I'm just gonna call it roheat.gg. And for security, we need to create the credentials on the security logins. So we create a new login, and you need to create this user under this IIS app pool. So you have 3p and backslash the user you want to use. So I just call it roheat.gg, as this is my the web domain I want to use, and you need to map this user as the owner of the database you just created here so it has all the access. And this is what you need to do for the SQL Server Management Studio. And where is my file manager? Thank you. So now we are in the rohit.gg. Of course, this is our root website root directory. We need to put everything here in a subfolder out to our root directory. And now for rohit.gg, we have already added the IIS users in it, but we also need to add the credentials for our database we just created to this folder, so you can actually use the database. In order to do this, you still add, but from the location, instead of networks local, you pull up to your host name, so the crop DC1, and you try to find this RIS app pool, sorry, oh my god, my hand, rohit.gg, and you add this user in. It's right here, and you give modify a permission to this user, so you can read and write. And this is going to be applied. And as we have set rohit.gg on the host, so I hope this will work. And while this is working, let's just add this 1.2, 168.1.2 as rohit.gg, and we go to rohit.gg on the other machine on the same network. Let's see, because this should it's taking longer. Do we have any window popping up? Oh yes, we do. So this one you can either hide or close. You will see this window. This is exactly like this CentOS one. It's just letting you create, yeah, so we can visit from other machines as well. It's like creating your website with some credentials for this website and give a name, give some basic email information. Thing is, like if you want to connect to your database, you specify your you specify the database, so rohit.gg here, so you can actually connect to the SQL Server. Otherwise, I believe this is the end of tutorial 10, 15, 9, sorry, so many things opening. Yeah, so you need to show, like you need to know how to enable ASP language, to create some like simple ASP stuff, make sure that language is working, and configure everything with RS. Basically, set them up a website like what you do with virtual host on Apache on CentOS. This is tutorial 10.